Hello ladies, I'm going to quickly show you how to tag books, DVDs, toys, probably a couple of other random things in this stack that I have here, so that you will know how to properly tag those for drop off. So the first thing I'm going to start with is make sure for most of these items you're going to need your twine, which I've already shown in some of the previous videos. Once again, make sure that it's not like the stringy type. It will not stay. This you can see has kind of the little fuzzies on them. You can also use curling ribbon if you want to use that, and then you'll need obviously a hole punch to punch hole in your tags, and scissors, and you'll obviously need cardstock when you get ready to print your tags. So I'm going to start first with showing you books. So I have just a stack of books here, as you can see. Basically, if you're just going to do one book, then it'll look a little bit different than this, so I'll show you in a minute. But we always recommend, if at all possible, you try to bundle, unless it's like a hardback book that you know is going to be worth $4 or $5 on its own at least. But otherwise, your best bet is always to bundle, because people tend to buy bundles more than they do single books, unless, like I said, it's like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Wings of Fire, or I'm trying to think of some of the ones right now that are popular that that would be worth, like I said, make sure it's worth $4 or $5 before you do one on its own. So otherwise, you're going to bundle them. Try to make sure in bundles, if you have like themes or obviously same series books, that's going to be the best way to do it. So these are all American Girl books. So they have got them bundled together. And then you're just going to take your twine or your ribbon, curling ribbon, whatever you're using, and you're going to basically twine it like a gift, like you would do the bow on a gift, so that it's secure all the way around and they cannot come out or come loose. And then once you do that, you're going to hole punch your tag, obviously, once you've printed those, tie it to the front, and then your bundle of books is ready to go. So this is the easiest way to do it. Just make sure that your twine or ribbon, whatever you're using, is secure. You also want to make sure that the books are close to the same size, because if not, then this will not obviously be as secure, so it's harder to keep them all together. So if at all possible, just try to keep them close to the same size so that they stay tight like this and don't come apart during the sale while people are looking at them. If you just had a single book, the only thing different would be you would just take the twine and you could go like inside, just open the book up and go inside from top to bottom and tie it, and then you could put the tag that way. So if you do happen to have a single book, you can do that. And if you aren't sure how to do that, just message us or email, and we'll be glad to explain that in more detail. But like I said, the easiest way to do that one would be just to take the single book, take the twine and run it down the length of the book, tie it off, and then you can attach your tag. So that way it's inside the book and it's not going to come out, hopefully. So make sure to price books accordingly. Books are a great seller, but just make sure that you're not overpricing them. So just kind of think about what you paid for them. And then if you were shopping for books, which is what we say when you're pricing anything, but make sure that you would price them at something that you'd be willing to pay for them. So these are priced at $4, and there's 2 books in here, so that's a pretty good price. $4 to $5 would probably be perfect on this one, because normally these probably run about 10 to 12, I would say, I'm guessing, retail. So bundles are great for books. Like I said, this way is the way they go. Single books, I would stay away from that unless the book is truly worth the $4 or $5 on its own. Otherwise, it's going to sit there till half price day if you discount, or it will not sell at all. So that's books. And like I said, just try to bundle those together in groups that make sense if you can, and same size. The next is DVDs. So DVDs are going to look the same. Basically, on these, I would bundle DVDs regardless, because we know DVDs are becoming less and less of a thing as streaming becomes more and more of a thing. So bundle the DVDs, that way they sell. And you can see this one is done with the curling ribbon. So just a different example. So that one's still tied just like you would a ribbon on a box for a gift or whatever, and then punch the hole and put your tag through it. That way when they're looking, they can clearly see. If you were doing more than 2, it would still look the same way. So this is the best way. Some people try on these and on the books to use packing tape. Do not do that. Especially on the books, it will tear them up, and you don't want that to happen, because you don't want somebody to be sad when they purchase the books if it tears the front or the back of them up. And really the same thing for DVDs. Packing tape just makes it hard for us to scan items because it covers up the barcode, so we just prefer that you not use packing tape if all possible, unless it's just absolutely necessary. And I'll show you in a minute when it might be necessary. So that is DVDs. And then the next thing after that, let me set this here, is puzzles. I'm going to show you this puzzle, which it was a brand new puzzle. So it is already in shrink wrap. This had not been opened, but this gives you the idea of if you have a puzzle, say this puzzle had been opened. Let me step back a little bit. Then you could use the plastic shrink wrap that you can get like from Walmart, Dollar General, and you can just wrap it around it and secure it. It would look similar to this, probably not quite as clean because obviously it would not be unopened, but this keeps all these pieces from ending up all over the place. So you either want to shrink wrap it if it's not already intact and new, or, which this one would not fit, so you would have to shrink wrap it almost. But there's also 2-gallon Ziploc bags, and I forgot to bring them with me. I'm actually at Ashley's office tonight. So, but you can get 2-gallon Ziploc bags if it's like a smaller Melissa and Doug or smaller wooden puzzle or whatever. A lot of people say you can find those at Dollar Tree. I've never looked there. We usually order ours from Amazon, but there are 2 gallons, and it's a perfect size for smaller puzzles that have pieces so that you can just put it in there and close it off, and that way the goal is to keep everything intact so no pieces are missing. And it sells, because obviously if pieces go missing, nobody's going to buy it. And then you can see on this one, it's twined just like this way right here, like up and down on this one because it was already enclosed. And then once again, punch the hole and put the tag. Okay, so that's puzzles. And then here's another example of it's not really a puzzle, but like a game that's like this in the box. Always make sure if you're bringing something like this, please check like this, Legos, anything with pieces, take the time to check and make sure everything's there. Either if it's not, just don't send it and donate it. Or if it's like a Lego set, you need to denote on there that stuff is missing. So before people buy it, they know what they're getting, because it's not fair to the purchaser or the customer. So on this one, same thing as the puzzle. They just twined this one across this way, punched the hole in the tag and attached it there. Once again, you're not going to want to put packing tape on this because it would mess this box up. So you always want to twine, ribbon, punch the hole and put it on there this way. So this is the game / puzzle example. If you have anything like Pokemon cards or baseball cards or anything like that, then you can put them like in a little, you can shrink wrap them, or you can put them in a Ziploc bag and you can take this part down and then affix the tag to the front of that. We have a lot of people do that with Pokemon cards. So if you have any of those, and usually they sell them usually like sets of 25 to 30 for $4 to $5. That's usually a pretty good price if you're going to sell, like I said, but you need to put at least 25 in there just to make it worth what people would purchase them for. So you can use a Ziploc bag for that. Just stick them in the Ziploc bag, and then you can just tape this down on the back and then tape the tag to the front if you have anything like that. I'm going to show you these because this would work with headbands too. We've had a lot of people ask about headbands. So these are actually just noise canceling headphones, but obviously it has the same shape as a headband. And so you can take your ribbon or twine, just tie it around so that it's secure, punch the hole in the tag, and then do this right there. You can also, if you're going to bundle, you can still bundle them and just tie this. It's just going to be obviously a bigger set. And you can do it that way for headbands. And once again, punch the hole and do that. I don't have any bows to show you, but I will tell you that with bows, you can cut a piece of cardstock or a piece of cardboard or something that's stiff and stick the hair bows. Like I usually will group them in 2s or 3s, depending on the size. And you can, cut it to fit the size of the hair bows. Group those. If it's big hair bows, obviously 2. If it's smaller hair bows, you could do 3 or 4, and then price those accordingly. And that way, Ashley just brought me one. So here's an example. There you go. It's when it pays to do videos when we're both here. So you can see here, they just did that, and you don't even have to. They like went all fancy. Oh, let me see that one. Okay, let me finish showing you this one. So they went all fancy here, and they even like cut the thing to put it through in the middle. But a lot of times, like I'm too lazy to do that. So I'll just put it on the end. But you can see this one's pretty big. So if I was going to put another one, I would have probably put another one with this one because, people are just not going to buy used hair bows most of the time unless they're bundled. And so you could have made this cardstock bigger, put the 2 on there, and then you could actually attach the tag. You can do it there, or you can put it on the back so people could see it. But they actually made like the little nifty cutout. So then they just put it in the middle because it was just one. So that's one hair bow example. And then here's one with multiples on there. So you can see, once again, how they put them, and they still cut the nifty little things out. I mean, they're like on it. And then they still, once again, they just stapled the tag to the top, but you could always put it on the back too. So that's an example of how hair bows would look. And then the last thing I think I have, and I might show you a wrap too. I just realized I have one of those. I might show you a couple other things I've got right here beside me. So this is a toy that has pieces. This one just has one piece with it, but you still can see the example. If you're bringing something that has multiple pieces, when we are open to the public and children can come in, we obviously don't want little hands moving the pieces around or getting them away from what they belong to. And so you're gonna need to secure those. So if you have like houses or anything, like I said, with pieces that are not attached, like where they can't come off, you're gonna wanna put them in a Ziploc bag and then attach it. They cannot talk. They did this one with a zip tie. You could use twine or curling ribbon, attach it so that they cannot get into it. And then that way it's secure and you know that your whole set's gonna stay together. And then on this one, they could have easily twined the tag right here, which is what I would have done. So you could just twine a tag right there for it to show the price. But instead they chose to put it right here, which is okay. They did packing tape, which this would probably work because it's clean where they put it. But it's hard to see what this is. And so as far as the price, because it's not going to be turned that way, so nobody's going to know how much it cost. Whereas if you twined the tag right here, it would be clear to see. So you just want it to be easy to see so people know what they're purchasing and know what the price is. So that's an example of this. And then here is a stroller. Once again, they chose to tape the tag right here, which is fine. You can see this one, so that's better at least that you can see it. But preferred is that you twine or use curling ribbon and just tie it right here and let it hang down. That way we're not dealing with the packing tape and it just looks cleaner. So that's an example of that. And you're gonna do the same thing with baby equipment. It's the same process. If you have a carrier, you're gonna put it on a hanger if you want to go on and do that, because we will hang them up and then you can attach the tag. If you have wraps, then you're just gonna roll those up and twine them, attach the tag. So that's kind of an example. Blankets would be the same way. Just remember on blankets and bibs and burp cloths, they have to be new with tags in order to be taken. But this is kind of an example for you to see of how the wraps would be, or the carriers, sorry, if you're bringing any of those. So that's just a quick rundown of some of the miscellaneous things. I'm sure there's something I didn't cover. So if so, just comment below. We'll be happy to give you an example if we have one. If not, then we will walk you through it the best way we can. But hopefully this helps you as you look for all those miscellaneous items. As you're tagging and prepping and getting stuff ready, remember, we love the clothing, but we also love toys, bigger items, Hot Wheels, slides, play sets, the little play sets, plastic play sets, playhouses, any of that type of stuff sells well at our sale. So toys, books, bigger items, baby equipment, don't forget those things when you are tagging, because those are big sellers as well. So if you have any questions, as always, reach out to us, and that's it. Thanks so much.